Why the hell should a nonprofit pay attention to Google Analytics? That doesn't make any sense. This is WholeWhale TV. My name's George Weiner. Today we are talking about 4 reasons why nonprofits should pay attention to Google Analytics. Number 1, anecdotal reports can be misleading. For example, you ever been driving down the highway, see one of those, "How am I driving?" signs? Give us a call. So imagine we've got a driver who's like just weaving all over the freaking place, just driving like a maniac half the time and like driving perfectly straight down the road the other half. Maybe it's like he's eating his lunch or something. So let's say he gets a call, right? You call up and say, "This guy's driving amazingly. He's staying between the lines, keeping the wheel straight. It's fantastic." That's saved as like this anecdotal testimonial that's been called in. If that were the only metric that that driver had or that company had in measuring that driver, they'd be like, "Great, keep him on the road." Bad idea. So I'm not saying that all anecdotal reports are bad. Obviously, there are extremes. They're fantastic for storytelling. The testimonials, they're great. You should definitely be aggregating together, but it also can run afoul of what is called a courtesy bias. For example, you pull everybody in a room, you give them all free popcorn and say, "Isn't our popcorn good? Wouldn't you like more free popcorn?" And implicitly the person's like, "I want to kind of please this person," and so the courtesy is to say, "Yes, this is delicious because I know that I will get more." Tons of other issues that can happen with solely relying kind of on that testimonial or anecdotal reporting, where Google Analytics just tells you what's going on behind the scenes. You either clicked on that link or you didn't. Number 2, Google Analytics counts everything. Think Big Brother, right? Well, kind of. Behind the scenes, they're running on every single page of your site saying how much time, how many locations did they go to. So now think about it in a different way. Let's say you are an after-school teacher for a reading program. Well, if you were to put a data analyst in that room and they had a stopwatch, and every time a kid was reading, they're like, "All right, great, they're reading for this long." Imagine the data that you'd have, and you'd be like, "Okay, great, we want more kids reading for more time because this is obviously going to lead to great things." Well, that's exactly what Google Analytics can do with that time on page information. It can say, how long were people spending reading this? So this is where Google Analytics really shines. So if you think about an impact model and that input, output, outcome, it's great for that predictive output. If more kids spend more time reading a certain type of content, it's more likely that the outcome down the road may be improvement in literacy. So this is how you can begin to build Google Analytics into your programmatic goals that are digitally related, right? Think about your programmatic goals. Part of it is part of this is related to our online presence, our communications, the content that we put out there. Google Analytics can measure this really, really effectively. Number 3, improve content that's working. Inside of Google Analytics, we've got a whole view of all of our top content based on traffic. Well, there's 2 ways of looking at this, right? A glass half full, glass half empty. I'm a very half full kind of guy. Look at what's working, right? Look at the top 10% of pages that have got the top traffic on it and say, what is your most popular content? Once you know that, heck, do more of what works, right? Create more of that content. It's a signal that people like that. Tease it out. Can we create 5 things around this topic? How can we do more of what's working? How do we improve these pieces of content? When was the last time even an editor looked at it? There's tons of information just waiting for you to look at it, as opposed to saying, let me look at all of the underperforming pages and then sulk about why nobody's going to these pages. Certainly you can do that, but you're gonna spend a lot of time saying, hey, why aren't these pages getting any traffic? Because people don't like them or they can't find them. So be a glass half full type of person and jump into those data. Number 4, we can measure the ROI, or return on investment, of our communications and marketing. I know we're a little tired of it, you hear it all the time. What's the ROI of our social media? What's the ROI of writing all this content? What's the ROI of our website? I don't know who I'm imitating there, but you've heard it, right? This is what you can use to measure that. Finally, right, look at Google Analytics. Inside of there, you can set up things that are called goals. A goal basically is saying, hey, when this thing happens, when somebody gives us their email, when somebody donates here, count it for us. So when you send out an email blast to your entire network and they come clicking in, you can actually count how many people came from that email blast, signed the petition, or donated or did these things, so you can get a true return on investment kind of measure for your organization. All of this can be tracked in Google Analytics, giving us this true value of what is the ROI. You can tell. If you set it up properly, you understand your programmatic goals as they relate to the digital circle, oh my gosh, it's right there. You can use it. Do it now. Okay, that was 4 reasons why nonprofits should pay attention to Google Analytics. We covered a lot of information. We'll keep doing that, by the way. Send us comments, questions, tweet them at WholeWhale, or even leave them in the comments. We'll look at them and probably respond, unless you're being mean, and then we'll just make fun of you. In general, we'd love it if you would subscribe right there, or watch another video right here. We'd love it. Just, little clickaroo.